Good evening and welcome back, everybody, to the SRA Grid Report podcast. As always, I'm your host, Josh, with me, Bailey Kish, and here it is, finally revealed to you all that fan favorite request coming to you live for this season. Cameras are in play. So I'll let Bailey finish a sip of that prime energy.
We're primed up, baby.
I'm
We're
so,
primed up.
I'm so interested to try that stuff. Is it actually any good? Because we don't have it
It's
up here yet.
it's pretty gas. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that
I
is that like good or is that bad? Like gas probably
no
doesn't
gas.
taste good.
Gas is good.
Okay.
Gas is good. Yeah.
All right. Noted.
Uh, I get the pink and blue ones. I get them delivered to my house once a month. They're that good.
Actually?
Actually, yeah,
Oh shit. Is it
yeah,
like some subscription package or something?
yeah. I have a local supplement store by me, and they just deliver it every once a month.
Huh.
So yeah,
Interesting.
highly recommend.
All right. Well,
Once you the the Northerners up there get it.
well
I'm
hope
surprised they don't.
yeah, we don't even have all the flavors of the normal stuff and there's only one store that has the rights to sell it and it's a gas station store.
Mm.
So, good fun.
Yeah, everyone and their mother has it here. So
Yeah, it's I will say the non-energy drink ones totally worth it. Like
yeah, I agree.
even though they're a
Prime
little bit pricey,
hydration.
they're so good.
Yeah,
Way better.
I'm with you.
So now that we've got beverage talk out of the way, what's happening, everybody? We've had a whole bunch of action happen in the first week of the season, including that live stream track and shoey and livery reveal from everybody, and what a show that was.
Yes.
But between that, Paul Ricard heading straight into Spa next week, which it feels like the week's just shortened right up with all these races going on. Spa actually tomorrow as well with the second or is it third round of our WEC Championship? Third round. Thank you for correcting me there. And last, we will come back to talk about that wonderful Miami Grand Prix that was actually kind of interesting.
I agree.
But yeah, let's start on that reveal stream. I mean,
Let's do it.
I unfortunately didn't get to watch it this time. I was out
Mm.
trying to put the project race car back together. We just got the engine back from the shop, and well, we can save that story for another time. But needless to say, order your own parts when you need replacement stuff. Don't always worry about the engine builder who knows what he's doing, because head studs that are 2 inches too short don't do you shit. So,
I if an engine blows up, I just buy a new car. That's how
yeah,
I do it.
fair enough, fair enough. But did you get to watch the reveal stream?
Oh, I did.
Yeah. How long
You
did
know
they
how it
manage to
goes.
hold out for this time?
They were in trouble by the 3 hour mark.
Oh, really?
Maybe a little before. Might have been a little before. They had to change the bottoms up. You know how it was. There was no timer on it. This time they changed it to every 10 minutes.
Oh,
They could use, and it was used every 10 minutes.
oh wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a little less chaotic this time, but everyone knew when it was coming. So,
It's good.
yeah, I mean, all around it was fun. Lots of liveries, lots of cool liveries. A lot of people put in a lot of videos as well for the livery. So it was another fun reveal stream to be a part of. A lot of funny and historic shoeies as well.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing the snippets of those shoeies because people keep telling me about Paula and him breaking a guitar.
Yeah.
So I want to see that.
Yes. Polly did break a guitar.
What a mad lad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to see those liveries out on track. I mean, we got the wrong way. Nice picture here of some of the cars out there from Paul Ricard this week. I mean, unfortunately, this Porsche beside me and the one Ferrari in that mix didn't get their liveries shown, but I guess Awesome Sim Racing missed it, or I missed it myself. But that Champion Motorsports Van Gogh painting, I didn't realize how everywhere that was, and I think that might be the uh, pink and blue Bendy Brew car this year. Just kind of like, oh my god, I'm tired of looking at this.
Yeah, I called it the pink and blue eyesore.
Yeah,
Yeah. We we've fallen out of Division 2 as everybody's been reshuffled with the driver number changes in the division. So now what used to be the pink and blue division is now in Division 3.
well, That's I look forward to seeing a broadcast of that because you know, I don't know, it seems like these Champion Motorsports cars are everywhere, but having something else take over an entire division in and of itself is kind of funny.
Yeah, it is, and it's funny because um, you'll hear people across all of SRA, even Division Two, saying, "I don't know who's who because of these liveries are all the same." And it doesn't help that most people are in a Ferrari or Porsche or a Lambo, so it's even harder to distinguish who's who.
Yeah. Speaking of that, being in the post-race reviews after Wednesday night's races, and people are looking at an incident, and then, oh, who's that Ferrari there? And it's like, which one? Which one? Oh, the blue one. Which one? Like, I see two blue ones in this picture alone.
Yeah, yeah. I was for a little bit.
But I think the story of at least the D2 race was that light blue car we can kind of see in the background of, I believe that's a Mercedes back there. I want to say. Looks like a Mercedes. But either way, the Mercedes that some people thought might be the outlier different car that could be competitive.
Yeah.
Some people felt the struggles of what that car can do to you. And I heard you were talking something about the opposite axle to the Ferrari, and that doesn't do too well at a track like Paul Ricard, does it?
No, it doesn't. And what me and my teammate this season, new teammate, John Archie, shout out John Archie, hell of a first race there. Um, the front tires on the Merc just absolutely disappeared after about 30, 40 minutes. So we had absolutely no turn in for the second half of the race. Kind of made it hard to compete. So yeah, it's getting the Merc is definitely different this season. Um, kind of a bold decision going with it as everybody's in the Ferrari, but so far after one race, I am quite thrilled with my decision, but we'll see with this next track.
Yeah, Spa's gonna be a little bit of a different challenge. Have you been out there yet for some practice?
I did, yeah. I was actually doing maybe an hour yesterday before I jumped on to do some LMP2 practice.
Which didn't have to change tracks, but it felt completely different, eh?
It was a different track, and the AC version has the no runoff, so everything's gravel compared to what's in ACC. So that was kind of tough to get used to right away, but um, yeah, I definitely like the old layout better. It kind of favored those who kind of struggle with corner exits. So
Yeah, a little bit more room for leniency, and
yeah,
that's another thing we can talk about at the end with tracks that are tough at corner exits and leniency for errors. I don't
yeah.
know if you've seen the Real Racing channel lately, but some updates to some new racetracks have a few people upset.
I did see one quick before we move on. One quick update I did see was Laguna Seca. I think that's turn 4.
That's the
They
one I'm
added like
talking about.
yeah, they added. Did they add that in that chat? I haven't been paying attention,
Yeah, I
but
sent the link of one of the it's a GTE driver, I believe it is, or a GT3 driver, talking about
mhm.
another classic track being ruined. And there's actually a few corners that they've put the runoff on. The downhill left-hander after the corkscrew, they've added runoff on the right side as well. They also
Oh, all
moved
the
the
way at
wall.
that exit.
Yeah, they apparently moved the wall at the pit straight, and they plan on moving the start-finish line, I think, forwards or
Hmm.
backwards. But
I don't know how much more forwards you could go without getting to turn 1.
well, turn one is like what, that little bit of a crest to the left at the top.
Yeah, technically.
I don't know. Turn one. But anywho,
Turn point 5.
yeah, turn point five. I like that better.
Yeah,
But anywho, Spa, although we don't have the new updated version, is still going to be a pretty interesting race next week and
I agree.
tomorrow. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a look at how the first ever nights of SRA with 8 divisions went down, and caps off to everybody who participated in the first ever race for Divisions 8 and Division 7. No matter where you finished, great job. So, Division 8 saw and this is something I wanted to compare across these different divisions, a pole position time of a 56.625 from Zayn Mirza in the Porsche 992. And as we get up through a couple of these divisions, you'll notice like the the jumps in pace aren't that much. Like we saw last season, it was pretty tight across the
Yeah,
divisions, and we added two more, and it's just as tight. It's kind of hilarious.
it is very funny, and to see how everyone is shaking up here in their provisional splits, shall we say, at the beginning of the season, adding two new divisions, and kind of just looking at the poll times to see how actually well classed everybody was put in.
Exactly, exactly. But the one thing I'll be intrigued to look at as we go through this, because I haven't looked through it too much, is the
Hmm.
variance in cars. Which ones
Yes.
are up at the top, and is it all Ferraris? Which, starting with Division 8, even though we had a Porsche take pole, a Ferrari did take the win of
Yeah.
Matthew Enriquez with the Ferrari 296. Dakota Taylor coming in second place with a Porsche 992. Ian Demler with a Porsche 992. Zane Mirza coming home in fourth. And Jason Yaron rounding out the top five, also in a Porsche 992. So,
Yeah.
new cars dominating Division 8, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But overall, the race finishing times were relatively close. Like the leaders were only 3 seconds apart. A little bit of a
Hmm.
gap from second to third looks to be about 12 seconds, and then three to fourth and 30 to fifth. So that could have been a difference of strategy right there. That could have been tires versus no tires, which some people did take tires through some of the higher divisions.
Yeah, that is something we could talk about is the longevity of tires now with the 1.9 update.
What longevity?
Exactly. Exactly. Um I know I I know you were on the D1 broadcast this week or last week technically, but a lot of people were debating last week about taking tires, and I don't I think Chilka was the only one that I can think of off the top of my head.
Chilcott was the only one that I noticed directly because we were watching him from the top, but
Hmm.
I noticed that there were quite a few drivers in Division 1 with longer pit stops, and
Yeah.
even in Division 2, myself not taking tires, by the way that felt by the end of it, if I did full race stints for practice, I probably would have considered it too.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know how well it paid off because I didn't watch the full race, but I don't know how well it paid off for him and if it was actually worth it. But like it could also just be track dependent.
It was not worth it.
I didn't think so.
It's very tough to make up 20 say like the doesn't take tires versus takes tires is 30 seconds. Well,
Mm-hmm.
26 and a half
26,
seconds
yeah.
difference. So you have to either pit so early that your change in tires doesn't matter to try and lap faster than somebody and have 26 laps to say lap at 1 second faster than them,
Minimum.
or
Yeah.
have some sort of absurd pace in the bag to be able to make up that kind of ground. Because
Yeah.
even though the feel of the tires goes away, one thing I notice is that the pace doesn't actually go away that far.
Mm-mm.
Like
I mean,
it to a
trying to
reasonable
think.
amount. Like the start of, if I remember correctly, the start of the D2 race where I was around low mid 25s to high 26s at the start, from the front end of the group to the back end of the group. And then by the end of the race, it was mid to high 26s to low 27s.
Are
So,
you talking about 57s maybe?
yes, yes, you know what I mean.
I was gonna say what? You're doing
55, whatever.
27s?
Yeah, I'm doing 27s, okay? Get on my level, whatever.
Good Lord, dude, 30
Anyways,
seconds a lap quicker.
yeah,
What am I doing
exactly.
wrong?
I'm in an F1 car, don't
Am I
worry about
taking the chicane?
it. Yeah, you are taking the chicane. You're taking every other layout possible on here.
Yeah, the longest layout possible.
That would be an interesting lap.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, like over the race, it still was only about a 1 to 1.5 second pace variance over the
Yeah.
hour, and that still seems kind of reasonable. So but this new tire model and the way the game actually feels back through the steering wheel, it's gonna make it's gonna make it harder to mentally just go, yeah, nope, no tires every
Yeah.
race.
How are you getting along with the new update?
I will
How do you
say,
feel?
with uh, mid fuel and like smaller stinting, the way the game actually feels through the wheel is night and day different, and it's
Hmm.
so much better. Like the amount of detail that I'm actually getting through the road on a fresh set of tires is insane. But when I get to that wear point, it is. I mean, I guess it's kind of like, oh, you're crying because it's hard, but it is a lot harder
Yeah.
to deal with worn tires, blistered tires, grained tires, or like you pushed too hard on your open lap and locked it up a couple times. Now you have, I don't know, X, Y, and Z going on. It's actually a challenge.
Hmm.
It was a challenge before, but I felt like it was a little bit easier to work through.
I was gonna say it was not as difficult to manage.
Yeah, I felt you could go like 2 or 3 laps in the previous update after messing up your tires and just
Yeah.
kind of take it easy, and
Hmm.
they would come back to you, and then you could start pushing again. But this update, you need to like, I don't know, just fully pull back 10% on the amount you're willing to push to keep them alive.
And I don't know when you actually pit in the race, if it was early, late, middle.
Just a little after the half mark.
Oh, okay. Because I had ended up pitting literally the last possible lap,
Oh,
and
really?
the one thing I did not practice or even like get a feel for was coming out of the pits with cooler tire temps and tire or brake temps. Sorry.
Hmm.
I struggled on the outlap.
It's tough to like you want to get yourself to push yourself back up and warm the tires up, but the car just will not respond the way
Yeah.
you want it to.
No, and I was right. I came out right behind P1 silver in silver class, and I was like, "Oh, I got this, I got this." And then I hit. It was like turn 6 or 7, and I'm like, "Car's not braking, car's not braking."
What is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
tough.
mean, it was tough, but like I said, I didn't even think of practicing the feel for that, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people across SRA who have the same feeling. Or um, another common talking point is that how long the tires take to warm up as well. Beginning of the race, beginning of qualifying.
Completely agree. It's a couple laps now. Like you can go out and nail your first lap in qualifying, and you're gonna look at that time and go, "What? That's
Yeah.
that's not my pace."
Mm-mm.
And the next lap will feel the exact same and be 6 tenths faster, and the
Yeah.
next lap will feel the same and be 2 tenths faster. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I see the progressive increase in time as you get later into qualifying. I know the last before the update. Um, I used to do like laps on a hot lap and then go back in and get new tires and then do two more laps and that'd be the end of qualifying. But it takes almost the entire qualifying session to actually reach maximum speed or pace.
yeah, I completely agree. Like my last lap in qualifying, I invalidated in the penultimate corner, but
Hmm.
it was my fastest lap by far. Like
Yeah.
I was up in corners that I wasn't making anywhere near any time in previous laps, and it's just like, all right, I guess this is how it works now. Just got to
Yep.
roll with it.
I get
So
used to that.
so even though
So
the cars are starting to feel a little bit less foreign, the game is still a bit of a learning curve.
yeah. Well, and you're not in your trusty Aston anymore. So
Well, it feels that feels foreign. That car feels foreign.
oh my gosh, if yeah,
It does
I
not feel like it did in the last update.
no, that was the first car I tried and I thought the exact same.
Throw it in the garbage.
Exactly, along with the Audi. R.I.P. in peace.
R.I.P. in peace. But after we finish paying our respects to those guys, we move on up to Division 7 with my first tough name of the night,
You got this.
Niels Newerkirk,
That's pretty good.
with pole position time of a 1:55.757 with another Porsche 992. And for D7, a Porsche did not win the race. It was a BMW of Al Hondo with the M4 for Cannonball Motorsports. Justin Karen in second place with the Aston V8. So good to see that even though we're shit talking it, it can still do something.
I know, right?
We even saw that in, I remember seeing that in Division 1. The Astons could still cook. Michael, oh my gosh, somebody showed the pronunciation of this person's name somewhere, and I do not remember it.
I would, if I had to guess, I would say Michael Mucciaccio.
All right. So
That's how I guess. It sounds maybe Italian.
It, it,
Um, I can I
it
can
could be.
quickly look in the pronunciations
Look at
while,
this, Bailey being
while we
all professional.
ramble it off. You know me. You know how I go.
You know how I go.
You
You
know
know
how
how
I
I
be.
be. Just gonna peer to my left here. Oh, wonderful.
Where
It
the heck?
it is 1-0 Florida.
Oh no.
Yeah. Game 5 going on in the background. The volume off.
Yeah, we got a Lakers. Lakers later, baby. Lakers nation.
I'm too scared to put my jersey on.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All
Did
right.
did you find a pronunciation, Bailey?
Looking. We are checking. We are checking. Michael.
I'm not gonna do it.
Michael. 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 If you just want to keep going while I look for this.
All right. So after Michael takes P3 in the Porsche, we got Caden McCoy in fourth with the Ferrari and Alex Welsh in fifth with the Aston as well. So unfortunately, even though Niels took the pole position, he was not able to hold on to a top five. I wonder if he was another driver who opted to take tires in their strategy.
Could be, or just had some misfortune, which was a common theme across all the divisions this week.
One thing that's kind of slept on about Paul Ricard is that even though it's a relatively basic track and there's room, it's kind
Hmm.
of awkward to go 2x2 through some of these corners, especially
Yes.
turns 1 and 2, which nobody remembers on the first lap.
There was parts when it was 3-4 wide for
Yeah,
that corner.
yep.
Yeah. Update. Uh, this sheet has not been updated in a very long time.
All right. So unfortunately,
There's
Michael.
only 6 divisions.
Oh no. So unfortunately,
Yes.
Michael Mucciaccio,
Macchiato.
Mikey Macchiato.
I hope he's not offended by that.
If he is, I'm sorry.
Please don't cancel me.
Cancel culture. Division 6 onto our first broadcast division. So this season, even though we've already missed the ball for the first week of the season, Division 5 and 6 are going to be recorded live and then uploaded afterwards. And Divisions 1 through 4 are going to be live broadcast on the YouTube and Twitch channel. We'd love to have all the divisions done, but we're having a hard time consistently getting 6. So I think before we increase the plate, let's get some more people at the table. But this season looks a lot more promising. So
Yeah.
very excited to see all of the action going on in the divisions, and Division 6 especially, because there's a lot of talent down there. Pole position time for Marty Space Baker with the Ferrari 296 of a 1:55.795. Just a little bit faster than D7 there. Actually, no, it is slower by
I was
four
gonna say.
hundredths of a
I
second.
was gonna say that doesn't sound familiar.
Hey, wait a minute. That's wrong.
Some, yeah, that ain't right.
So, exactly what I'm talking about, how close these are. And then in the race, Marty just fell down to second place with his 296 as Henry Garcia came home to take the first win for Division 6 in his 296. The return of a familiar name in Durban Legacy comes home to take third place in D6, as well as Justin Secom in fourth and Ryan Farrell in fifth. Rounding off those two positions, Justin's in his M4 and Ryan in a Lexus. So
I know
Lexus gains still
Lexus.
going strong.
Wow. Don't
Beautiful.
see many of those anymore.
No, and I wonder if it's an indication of why. Just looking at the fastest laps here, Ryan's fastest lap was 3/10 slower than anybody near him. So,
Maybe he was doing the same lap time through the entire race, so you never know.
uh, maybe, but I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm actually I
qualifying
was
still
kidding.
matters.
Yeah. Would you like to know a fun fact?
I would like to know a lot of fun facts.
There is only one Lexus registered through all the divisions.
Excuse me, sir, you need a teammate.
There's only
Or
one
ma'am.
Lexus. Yeah, we're not judging. But yeah, the only Lexus, Ryan Farrell. Has,
Wow.
yeah, put a P5 though. Shout out for him representing the Lexus gang.
So if you're slotted for Division 6 and you don't have a teammate, I highly recommend you taking hold of that sighting of a Lexus and P5 and go, you know what, I'm going to give that car a try because it's
Hmm.
actually a pretty reliable automobile. And Ryan
It
Farrell,
was.
great racer.
Well, the Lexus had a was on the rise there in the last 2 3 seasons,
Yeah,
and then
I,
poof.
I still remember, like, it's in my nightmares, the Lexus chasing down cars on the big right hander at, what track is that? Is that, Misano? No, that is
Big right hander. There's a lot of big
Zolder.
right handers.
Two stage right into a hairpin, and then it's flat out. You got the one right, and then you kind of cut the curb into the braking zone.
That might be Zolder.
I think it's Zolder. We rarely race there, but they were just chasing down people without a
Yeah,
slipstream, and it was like, oh my god, this car might just come out and be the most dominant car on track, and then it
I
just kind of fell off again.
yeah, I was gonna say that was an odd race with Ferrari struggling, and then you had the Lexuses, of course. But me myself, I had an angry Canadian in my rearview mirror for almost the entire race.
Gotta love it, eh? It's just trying to give you your Timmies, bud. You
I knew
forgot
what
your
you were saying.
Timbits. Don't worry, I'm not trying to feed propaganda. Just
It's
food.
okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Division 5. This is like all of these divisions as we go forwards. There's names that are like, hey, wait, why are they down here? But then, like, the whole division is jam packed full of these people, and
Yeah.
it's going to make for an extremely competitive season. Ian Byron takes pole position in the new Lambo Huracan Evo 2 with a 55.052. Jordan White ends up coming home to take the win in the Ferrari 296. Scott Smith in second place with a McLaren 720S because why not? William Brown in third place with the 296. Darren Wicks in fourth with the Porsche 992, and Walid Sadat in fifth with the Porsche 992. So that's although we dropped the ball on Division 5 this week, I think I'm going to have to find that stewarding replay and go see what happened to Mr. Byron.
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh, Bailey
D5,
knows.
the ball will not be dropped anymore. The ball is being picked up.
By who?
Yours truly.
Oh, that's right. I believe it's
Dab.
Bailey and
Mike Gino, my
Mike.
homie.
Oh,
Yep,
Mike Gino.
Mike Gino.
Gonna be home.
He's a current steward right now, but he's had some interest in commentating. So I said, hey, D5 needs some commentators. Would you be interested? Because there's been some rumors, some speculations of me coming back to commentating. I said, I don't know, I don't know. And D5 deserves to be streamed. I mean, D5's got, as we see, a bunch of names here, some spectacular racers, some quick drivers. So I said, you know what? Let's do it. So Mike and I looks like we're gonna be taking on D5 this week. So I'll be popping in the D5 uh, division chat, letting them know, saying, "Hey, you guys will not be forgotten anymore."
That's awesome to hear. Welcome back to the booth and big ups for Division 5. Great, great commentators to have there for their division.
Also, that was not the big news. So
Big news. Breaking
yeah,
news. More at 11.
breaking news. More to 11.
That is the breaking news. There'll be more at 11.
Actually, I do have some breaking news as we speak right now. Penalties have been released.
Oh no.
Penalties have been released.
Do any
Your
of them?
name and my name are both on them.
I know. I knew I was going to get one because I was involved in the
Yeah,
lap 1 incident.
I was lap two. But yeah, penalties have been released. So none of these results have been probably adjusted yet.
Let's just.
But yeah,
I'm going to have a quick peek at the other ones.
yep, no problem.
The
But
ones we've already covered.
I think wow, my Discord was tiny. That's why I was having issues. Um,
Oh,
D8. Look at D8 if you can.
well, I
First
see it.
time out. First time out. One penalty.
Yeah, that is amazing. The streams or the podcast is getting a slight view at the penalty sheet here, but that's okay as we take a look through. I don't see anything affecting our current standings.
That's what I'm looking for as well. Oh, wait, hold on, hold on. We're checking. We're checking.
We are checking.
Oh, is that picked up?
It probably will be.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe this.
Hey man, we're giving the people what they want.
Yeah,
A
if
show.
that's what you think is what's happening.
If not, they'll tell us. That's why we give them the
Yeah,
podcast forum. So don't forget to go yell at us in the podcast forum, linked down
what a
below,
plug.
about
What a plug.
what we need to stop doing.
I could tell you what we could stop doing is using that
Ooh,
stupid soundboard.
ooh,
Uh-oh. There is
big,
one
big
change. There is one
change,
change.
big
But we haven't
change.
gotten there yet. We haven't gotten there yet.
We have
Gotten
not
there yet.
gotten there yet.
But we'll get to it when we get there.
Do we have anything else? No D2, no D1?
I don't see anything now. Yeah. I was the highest finisher. So
In
there's nobody in front of me.
you were the
And
highest
the
finisher in the
penalties.
penalty
In the
point list.
penalties. Yeah. Yeah.
Good job,
Nobody
buddy.
in front of me. We take those. Where
Awesome.
were we?
We were just
D5.
about to go to D4
D4, yes.
and tell everybody about how Henrique Lostosa took pole position with his Porsche 992 and a 154.482. So quite a jump from D5 by a whole 6/10,
Yeah.
but very respectable lap time. Very respectable lap time. Managed to hold it together and take home the first win of the season by pretty healthy margin, almost 20 seconds, 18 seconds from Stephen Smalley in his Ferrari 296. Corey Sircone in third place, Gordon Beverly in fourth with the Aston, and Ethan Marvin in fifth with the 296.
Another
The
Aston Martin.
yeah,
Top 5.
I guess
We
it's not.
just suck.
I was gonna say I guess it's just a skill issue, but
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you gotta go with what's comfortable for you, right? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't always jump to a meta vehicle because it may just completely not agree with your driving style.
Mm-hmm.
You just Daniel Ricciardo yourself out of a seat.
Exactly. That's how you do it.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, but D4. Been a big fan of D4. I've been watching them for 3 seasons, so only gets more competitive as we go. And looking at the times, I mean, you look at some of these drivers here in the top 5. Stephen Smalley was D2 last season. Corey Sircone was D2 last season.
Gordon Beverly, I believe, was D3 looking like D2,
I thought he was
or was he
D5.
D5?
I thought he was D5.
I lose so much track, man, because we go out and do these practice races and with the
Mm-hmm.
exhibition races, and I don't even have notes on it, but with the feeder series that I'm forgetting the name of that we're running parallel to the GT3 championship, like there's so much going on, and
There's a lot.
you end up seeing someone like Gordon, for example, outrace somebody in D2, and it's like I forget who's where now.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm with you on that as well. I mean, like I was saying, it's just how close everything is now and the shrinkage of divisions. It's like, why is this person here?
It's going to be quite baffling, and even just going over Division Three's results next is going to
Mm-hmm.
be a little bit of a what?
Exactly. Yeah.
Pole position goes to Jeremy Story in his 296 with a 54.230. And here sits the first change from the penalty sheet. Originally
Ugh.
listed as the race winner, Douglas Mitchell has been slapped with a 10-second time penalty, dropping him completely out of the top 5.
43, 44. Is it?
48, 50,
You're
51.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
That
It'd be
hands
53.
the first win of the Division 3 season to a man who has not raced in 2 seasons now.
It's been something like
It's
that,
been
yeah.
quite some
Might
time,
be even longer.
and everybody has been extremely fond of this man's return. Congratulations, Dae-hee Yun.
Congratulations, Daddy Daehee.
All right.
Th-
Well,
This one's for the kid.
this one is for the kid. He definitely wouldn't give him a nice kiss on the forehead after that
That
one.
is yeah, that is unfortunate for Doug. Still waiting for that SRA Team Series win. It's gonna have to wait another week.
Yeah, but a lot of people are pegging him for an early D3 champion, so let's. I wonder if he's gonna pull off another championship with no wins.
I don't know.
So long as
Maybe.
Daehee's there, it'll be a tight fight.
I agree. I think it's going to depend on what happens with the movements of drivers come end of race 2, beginning of race 3, even maybe after race 3, because we get the gold silver reclassifications.
That is right. That is right. But just going down the rest of the top five here, a few more very competitive names. Aaron Anderson in third place with the 296. Dustin Fickert in fourth place with the 296. David Funk in fifth place with the Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. But again, those numbers moved up by one because Doug has been shoved down to fifth. So, yeah, I mean, D3 I think is where I'm going to have most of my focus on in my free time because that division's going to be spicy.
Yes, I agree. A lot of people are saying Division 3 is now what Division 2 was.
Yeah, definitely going to be the sweat zone.
So, yeah, which is fine. They can have the sweats. That's fine.
Exactly. We'll take over the skill and they can take the sweat.
Exactly. Exactly.
Moving on up to our favorite playground, Division 2. Pole position goes to Grant Cleansing with the 296, a 153.8. Wow. I was struggling
Unbelievable.
I was struggling to consistently get a low 54. And this guy came out and I think did that very early and then sat in the pits.
Potentially. I know him and Loic traded at least once or twice.
No, sorry, I'm thinking of Division 1. That
Oh.
was Mike Menning. He set a pole position time and then just sat in the pits for most of his time.
He actually, I don't know if you remember, he was actually went out at the end and was up tenths on his 53.4 and had run out of fuel coming out of the last corner.
I do. That was very
Yeah,
depressing to watch.
it was. The 52.9 was coming.
It was. We were all baffled to think we were going to see a 52 in front of our eyes.
I know.
But before we get in front ahead of ourselves, D2 was a mess. But by mess, I mean such a mix of skill and strategy that it felt like the whole race was a standstill. Like everything was, I hope I make it up in the pits, or maybe somebody's going to make a mistake so I can close up some ground. But
Yeah.
it was a very even pace across the field kind of race.
And I was telling, I forgot who I was talking to, but I had felt, I don't know, you probably didn't feel the same as I did, but I felt like this might have been like one of the cleanest races I feel like I've ever been a part of with how much I had to battle and play defense. That like, I mean, I got to point, yeah, it was my fault, but like outside of that, I went side by side through, I don't know what turn that is. Technically, it's turn 10 in F1, but I don't know what it is in ACC. I went side by side at least almost 10 or 12 laps,
Wow.
and yeah, would just kind of hold on to it through the full sector 3, and then would kind of break away, and then they hit the toe back on the straight, and then do it all over again. So I don't know. I was super super impressed with the whole division from where I was at least.
I agree. I mean, I sat kind of towards the back for most of the race. Did not have the best qualifying. Had I was up 7/10 on my time and invalidated in the penultimate
Mm.
corner on my last lap. So started down in like 30th, I think it was.
Oh,
So,
that was yeah. That's
but
pretty tough.
from the battling that I experienced, it was pretty much the same thing as you said. Like probably some of the cleanest cleanest exchanges I've been a part of
Hmm.
in a while, and especially just out of the GT3 championship for the first race. Didn't seem like everyone was all I want the points. It was let's have a
Yeah,
good race.
let's establish something.
Exactly.
That's what it felt like. Let's get an established start here, which I'm all for, honestly.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm all for it as well. The race top five finished out with Grant holding on to take the win. Loic Normando coming home in second place with the Lambo. Ian Wheeler taking his first ever podium in third place. John Crown in fourth, and Bailey's teammate John in fifth
Let's go, John.
with the Merc.
Yes. Yeah, and I was a P7, so I wasn't too far off.
Good job, bud.
But I think I dropped to like P10 now, so unlucky.
Rip.
RIP in peace. But we move.
Exactly. Got to do what you got to do. I mean, stuff happens during the race. You do your best to avoid stuff and make the right decision, but sometimes you're just at fault, and you got to live with that.
Exactly.
You take
And
it
you
and move
kind
on.
of just know in the moment, you're like, oh, here it comes.
Exactly. As soon as mine
So,
happened, I'm like, great. Yep.
yeah.
Good one, buddy.
Yep.
But that is okay. It's all a learning experience.
Exactly. That's why
My
I do it with my eyes closed.
Oh my. I think I'm gonna have to submit a ticket on that clip.
Yeah. Oh.
Our last division here, Michael Menning takes Division 1 pole position with a 53.4. And like we were saying, he was up a huge chunk on his 53.4 in the very last second of that Division 1 qualifying, but ran out of fuel in the last corner, and that's got to be gut-wrenching because yeah, he was on for a 52 easily, and he had
Hmm.
a good corner too, so he probably could have gained a couple more hundredths out of there, but he still managed to take that pole with 2 seconds or 2 tenths to second place. So pretty dominant showing for the first race of the season.
Yeah. Well, then you go over to his race uh, results, and I mean, the numbers still speak for themselves about how just clear he was this week.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math on that. What is that? A minute?
21 seconds in the top division. Those are Ryan Yee numbers.
Yeah, that's a Michael Menning we have not seen in a while.
No, it is not. I mean, even his 3 tenths clear of the three closest guys to him.
Yeah, very wow, yeah, the fastest lap of the race. I
Yeah,
didn't notice that 3 tenths. That's talk about setting the precedent in the first race of the season. This
for
is
real.
this is my championship. Come and get it.
Especially in the Lambo.
Yeah,
Whereas we have a Lambo's third most used car to I feel like walk in. I mean, you got another one there in the top five with Jeremy Mercer, but I think the Lambo is extremely underrated.
I completely agree. There was a lot of people around the league saying that the thing actually felt really good,
Hmm.
and I think a lot of people just wrote it off because of how the previous Lamborghini felt. I'm
With that
sh-
and how overpowered this 296 is.
yeah, but I mean, this week really showed it's not all 296. I mean,
It's not.
there's a bunch in the top five, but there's going to be when it's over 50% of the league. But when you've got other brands taking pole positions, other brands taking wins, still filling out the top five with 2 out of the 5 cars,
Yep.
it's not all 296.
No, it's not. And you just kind of look more down to like D2, D3. I know for us we had some Mercs, we had some Ferraris, Porsche, Lambos. There might have been a McLaren in there too somewhere.
I think there was a McLaren somewhere in there. I know in
Hmm.
D1 there's only 2 McLarens, and that's Matt Lehman and Nate Spetch.
Yes, Matt Lehman, who's in D1 Silver, by the way.
Yeah, what?
Yep, you heard
Doesn't
me.
make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But I'm sure that'll change. He had a pretty strong race in
I
D1 from what
agree.
I remember.
Yeah, I agree.
But just going over those standings there, Mike Moaning or Moaning, I was doing so good. Mike Menning takes the win. Javier Marquez takes second place. Ed Kerstetter takes third. Jeremy Mercer in fourth, and Thomas Pierce in fifth. So a few new names in the mix, and always nice to see them jump straight to the top of the leaderboards.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm loving the new level of challenge with this season.
It's like a whole new game.
Essentially, essentially, and
Yeah.
it's feeling even more new moving on to try and drive Spa because the little bit that I have done on worn tires is very not exciting.
So much understeer.
It is very sad face inducing.
So much. Yeah. Yeah, I was not a fan last night. This being my least favorite track ever.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Very, very really.
Huh.
Is that surprising to you?
Yeah, like Spa's
Why
not
is that?
that bad of a track.
That's opinionated.
You like Paul Ricard more than you like Spa?
I like anything more than I like Spa.
Eh,
I do 100 laps at Nordschleife before I did 3 laps at Spa.
I'm sure everybody would love to do 100 laps at Nordschleife before they do
I,
3 laps at
I
Spa.
don't know that so much.
So much track.
What's that, 7 hours?
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Do it in a Daihatsu midget.
But yeah, jumping to Spa while I keep shit talking it. What do we think?
I think I personally am nervous because I haven't tried to set a lap. Like
Hmm.
actually tried to go out there. I just kind of like went, drove, wore the tires in a little bit,
Yeah.
and my fastest McLaren time is a 2:18.9. My fastest Aston time, like this is 1.8 obviously, is a 2:22.6. I have no idea what I'm gonna do, and
Yeah.
I have no idea where it's gonna land. I see some people talking 2:16s, 2:17s, 2:18s. I'm like, what?
Well, our resident hot lapper John Crown in Division 2 is currently doing a 17.7.
All right.
But he is right now the only person in the 17s, as there's been 13 people. Um, I think if you can get low 18s, maybe high 17s, potentially you'll be in a very, very good spot. Um, but currently, as it sits, Division 1 guys are putting in low 17s, 17.2, 17.3s.
All right. So pace
So,
pace is pretty quick, but the I'm interested to see how the slow speed corners are gonna feel as this race goes on. That's where my real driving wise concern is,
yeah.
especially that bus stop chicane. Right, Bailey?
Yes. Well, that's in a different car. That's in a different car.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We're still in the same division, bud.
Yeah. But these cars are a little more forgiving through there than those LMP2 cars are.
Yeah.
A little more stable.
Have
But
uh
I
have
swear
you
to God, if you lunge me from 5 cars back on Wednesday, I'm gonna lose my marbles. I'm gonna lose it. I am reporting you.
I'll do it on Monday in the practice race. I'm not doing it in a penalty
That's fine.
applicable
Get it out.
race.
Get it out on Monday.
There we go. But have you hit the sausage curbs in there yet?
I have.
And how much worse is it?
Well, being in a Merc, it's not as bad.
You didn't get murked?
No, I did not get Merced. I Merced the curbs.
Oh, okay. See,
Yes.
the apparently the Aston lost all its curb taking ability, and
Oh.
that those guys I think might have a hard time. Because I remember I used to be able to bump or jump those sausage curbs if I hit them by accident and not ruin myself.
Yeah.
But if it feels as bad as it did at Hungaroring trying to do the qualifying, then I don't look forward to them. Are there any up on the leaderboard right now?
Any what? S
Astons.
Martins? There is.
And I guess
Um.
it's the fastest in D1 just to make me look like an idiot.
No.
Okay.
Eric Neville is sitting in fifth at the moment. Only 10th off. While we're on this, I have this question here. What car do you think is going to be the most dominant at Spa with the new updates? I'll
McLaren.
just really
I think so.
guess again.
BMW.
No. Okay, let's put in a real guess here. Okay, because your first guess, there's only one right now, and it's second to last.
All right. Well, it's not
Um,
Matt Lehman yet, so we'll see.
no, it's not. No, it's not. But
Genuinely, I don't know.
filling out the top 3 spots is it's again the Lambo.
Really?
Yes. Fasley with a 17.2, Gomer Wilson with a 17.3, and Peter O'Brien with a 17.3 as well. All in the Lambo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That Lambo could come home to eat this
It's
season.
it's sneaky, I think. It's a sneaky choice.
It's quite the handful to drive. I did try it at Hungaroring, and
Hmm.
it feels different to other mid-engine cars,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I
To
agree.
me at least.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was, I don't know. Coming from the Porsche season, I need a little something more stable in my life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of people were saying the Porsche was going to be really good around here, being able to just toss it around corners. But I don't know. The Lambo's looking mighty strong this season. Not a lot of Ferraris up here in the top, but we'll see.
We will have to see as the weekend goes on. It is Friday evening
Yep.
right now, so people are people on the East Coast are probably just finishing up dinner, getting ready to sit down, do some gaming. West Coasters are just getting home from work, and those hot
That
lap
they'd maybe
roads
be
are
waking up for work. They're
wake.
so far behind.
They're not that far behind.
It was a joke.
I know.
Laugh.
I
Ha
know.
ha 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 ha.
It went straight over my head. I'm a silly Canadian. Don't you
I
get
know.
it?
I get it.
Don't ya know?
Hey, I get it. Just put it in the bag.
Put it in the bag.
Oh man, Spa. Well,
If
I
Spa's,
guess
I was gonna say if Spa's not enough for you, we also got Spa tomorrow.
we do. We do. WEC championship, as we said earlier. Round three. As you see in the graphic here. Round 3 of 5 of. I don't. Are we doing a second season? Do you know?
I am not sure.
I
Uh,
hope so.
I would love to. Kevin has been nice enough to host and run all of this, and I think just from what's been talked about, I think we might be leaning more towards events and
Yeah.
less towards seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But
Series.
just leaves some more flexibility for what we want to drive. Sometimes you're really not feeling the hypercar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, a lot of people are saying the hypercar is just not good around Spa this week, so we'll see. I know Kevin has been saying that attendance has been pretty low this week, which I don't blame him because it's Spa.
Yeah,
Um,
we already got Spa.
exactly. So I'm expecting a lot of people to show up next month at Le Mans, um, just because it is Le Mans, one of the most famous endurance tracks uh, ever.
Yes, that I feel
So
that race is going to be absolutely full.
yeah,
Like it's going to be
chaos.
nothing compared to the other races. Probably
Yeah.
closer to the Daytona turnout.
Hmm.
But yeah, either way, this has been a whole bunch of fun. And
I
throughout it,
agree.
we're still picking up people here and there and whatnot. People coming out for individual races and such. So just the practice races we do beforehand are fun.
Yeah, last night. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bailey forgot how to turn left at the bus stop and decided to do a
No,
360 no scope on
no,
himself.
no. I was dodging this freaking crazy bullet behind me and didn't like it. Just trying to switch back, but the goal is to just be so far gone on the first lap that I don't even have to worry about you.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that competitive safety car,
Oh my god, I should have just kept going.
yeah, that was funny. It's like not even one lap in, and Bailey is
Yeah.
9 seconds clear of everybody else because we're all just into each other, and
Yeah.
you touch the curb ever so slightly in those LMP2 cars, and the thing just spins right around.
Yeah.
But still an
It's
absolute
gonna be a
hoot.
long hour.
And I mean, it's also like we were saying on the updated version of Spa, so
Yep.
it's kind of cool. I mean, some of the changes I like. I like the new no name better than the old no name, but you know, I probably won't come to ACC, so just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Just like Zandvoort.
Don't even get me started on that shit track. All right. Yeah. So Saturday, we'll talk about it probably next week maybe. But yeah. So Saturday night, 9 p.m. EST. come join us. Even if you haven't participated in any of the events, that's okay because you don't have to. Um, it's all fun and games.
Exactly. It's all fun and games when it's games and fun.
Exactly.
So, rounding things off, Miami
Miami.
was uh was actually a pretty interesting race. Once
Yeah,
again, Max Verstappen winning,
from
and
P9.
from P9 exactly,
Yes.
and Checo just couldn't get it done. I mean, there's only so much you can do, and Max is just not gonna let that championship slip.
No. I mean,
Like Checo can
how
try
many
all he
laps?
wants, but
What do you do? 50 some odd laps on those hard tires?
I believe so.
And was still lapping quicker than Checo. I mean, not knowing the strat going into that race, I mean, there's not much Checo could do because he still had to cover off the Ferraris, the Mercs, Fernando. I can't forget about Fernando. Uh, but I was having a conversation with my father actually about this last night. Is Checo fully up to grips with this car to where he can compete at more than just these street circuits? Would you
Yes,
say?
yes. I just think there's that much of a skill gap between the two of them. Like
I agree.
Checo has to have Max not have a good qualifying,
Yeah.
not finish the
Well,
race, or like sorry, not have a good qualifying on a track that's really hard to overtake on.
yeah.
Someplace like
So
a
Monica.
Hungaroring or a Monaco or a street circuit.
Yeah.
Or Max needs to not finish the race for him to have a chance at winning. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, Checo's a fabulous driver. He's very talented and he's fast, but he's not as fast as Max. It just
Mm-mm.
is what it is.
Yeah, and that was my answer too. Is just that Max is just so far clear on skill. And I think with how much racing he does and how much he's just on the wheel. I mean, I don't know what Checo does in his free time, but Max is sim racing all the time. But people say that the car's built for Max. I think
It
this
more than
season
likely
shows
is.
it probably is, but I think this season more than most shows otherwise. I mean, you look at who's been in that seat the last 5 years. It's been what are we at? 4 different people now.
Something like that.
Denny, Pierre, Alex, maybe four, and then Checo.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a revolving door at Red Bull.
Yeah, it has been, but I think they finally got their guy.
Yeah. They've got a really solid teammate for Max there in
Yep.
Checo and a guy that's, hungry for the championship. He's not going to be a
Hmm.
sauerkraut teammate, but he's
Yeah.
also not going to fight unfair.
Nope.
That's what you need.
No, and to let Red Bull have Red Bull let them fight was what we needed. And then I had
Exactly.
said another thing that I had said was this was probably the first time the Red Bulls were fighting for position in like 7 years, 8 years. To whereas it's always just been okay, let Max through.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Max wants it. Like there's no way he is a driver that enjoys the hot lapping aspect of winning races. It seems to be more lively after the races where he's had to fight through the field or he's had to do some like coming back from something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure when he's gotta have a teammate that, or sorry, when he has a teammate that's up there with him and they're just like, yeah, you guys go ahead, have fun with it. He's like,
Just
yeah,
don't crash.
yeah. He's like, I want to have fun with it. I want to be able to have a little bit of a back and forth.
Probably, but
To a degree, obviously.
to a
Once
degree, yeah.
once there's an incident or a poor defense or like aggressive defense, then that line in the sand is gonna get drawn.
But
But
then again, who doesn't love winning by 30 seconds? I know I would.
not me because that means you get promoted a division.
Well, I'm not. I'm not talking on our stage. I'm talking about on the Formula One stage.
I know it's a joke. We're both
Ah,
we're both working on it. We do video games
just
and
just a
podcasts. We
couple of
don't do jokes.
comedic reliefs.
Exactly.
That's what we call it. What else? What else? What else? Charles Leclerc into the wall once again, qualifying and free practice.
The qualifying one was awesome.
Yeah.
The one clip of the broadcasters, he's talking about how in tune he is, and then goes through the corner and just they both scream at the same time as he spins the car.
Oh gosh.
Ah!
Yeah. It was kind of funny.
It's I mean, what is going on with him?
I
The
don't know.
the one opinion I do not agree with, and I forget who said it, but I believe it was one of those like retired drivers that's always got a mic shoved in their face for some reason.
Nico Rosberg,
No, it wasn't Rosberg.
Mark
Um,
Webber,
no, yeah, it might have been Weber actually.
Felipe Massa. You want me to
He
keep
just
going?
no, it's okay, it's okay. But they said the problem at Ferrari is Charles and Carlos, and it's like, when are you gonna
In
understand
what aspect?
that the team has not been It's like no, I'm not even gonna try and make that analogy because it's
No,
wrong and
make it.
there's other shit
Make it.
going
Make it.
on
Make
right
it.
now. No.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I wanted to hear it, but
how can you say that a team that cannot prepare itself for victory is not winning because of the people that they're allowing to drive the car, not because of what they're putting on the table
hmm
as a team?
well,
Like,
and name one situation so far this season where Charles and Carlos have had to race each other.
yeah, or that one
There
of
isn't
their decisions cost them a race.
exactly.
Every
They've
time they're close to winning a race, it's a Ferrari decision that screws them over.
Although I mean, to be fair, they haven't even been close to winning a race this season.
Uh,
Nobody has.
recent memory. Sad.
Yeah.
Rip.
R.I.P. and peace. Hit him with it.
Where's
But
the F? Get the big F.
um, okay. So another massive Formula One talking point at the moment is did we talk about on the live podcast Brad Pitt?
I don't think we did talk about it, but that stuff's just what the heck.
See. I thought it was fake, and I still do.
It's not fake.
No,
That's
I know it's not fake, but I have I just it doesn't feel right.
I know it definitely does not feel right. A movie being or like a movie crew developing a fake Formula One car that's like an F2 car with an F1 body with
Yeah,
Mercedes to be in
yeah.
a fake 11th team to follow them for the season. Like,
For an official Formula One race,
is Stefano Domenicali trying to dress like perfect his clown costume for Halloween this season?
I think
Because
he's just trying to bag a
he
check at this point.
why is he trying to bag a check of bullshit when he has literal what, at least three literal investors trying to get actual teams on the grid, real money into his
Yeah,
pockets? Like, what are they doing?
I don't know.
Andretti's been
It's
ready. Cadillac wants to join them. Like, Ford's been talking about wanted to come back on their own, and now they're just with Red Bull.
yeah.
Honda's now stepping back into play, which that's another one. Honda's rumored to be partnering with Aston Martin for 26.
Oh boy.
The fuck is going on?
I don't know. There's so much going on, and it's kind of overwhelming.
It
Kind of hard
is.
to keep up with. But this whole Formula One movie that they're making, just I don't know. It's unsettling because they're putting Formula One's allowing them to put on a Formula Two car on a Formula One grid, and 50. I think he's 59 years old now. Brad Pitt, and in this legit Formula race, towards these guys are, I can't even think of who
He's not going
is.
in the actual race.
What is it? Free practice?
No, it's like an off event thing, but apparently like, from what I understand, his car will still be on track with other cars. But it's not like he's going on for the actual Silverstone Grand Prix.
Okay,
That
okay.
would be
I was.
that's what a lot of people thought it was originally, and that was
That's what I
just
thought it was too.
absolute stupidity.
Yeah,
Like, that would have
and
been crazy.
at that point, like why?
If I turn on the Silverstone Grand Prix and I see that car at the back of the grid, I'm
Mhm.
shutting it off, I'm canceling my subscription, and I'm switching to NASCAR.
You can have
I
Pitt 21.
like that is
Yeah.
no.
Mm-mm.
That's silly. But yeah,
No,
it
no
it
Mickey's.
doesn't feel right having
Mm-mm.
this go on at all.
No, and I hope it's a dog shit movie.
As do I. I hope it's the last. Like, I don't know. I hope it's the last time they try and do this.
I'm with you. So, yeah, Miami is over. What do we got next?
Great question.
What do we?
Let me
I feel
check
like I
the
just
widget.
looked. What's
Imola,
after Miami? Imola. Imola,
May
that's right.
May 19th to 21st. So we have 1 week.
Another week. Yep,
And
so we can talk about it next week and
exactly. So
get on it.
exactly. So from me, from you, and from everybody all around, thanks for checking in on us for the start of season 3, and we'll see you next week.
Love you. Bye.